Can you double check that my little microphone here is recording? Because I can't look at it. Okay, so second day back at Derriford for the planned harvest. Now, as you can see, they are doing it. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to whiz us back to before this with them setting me up and stuff. I just thought that was a nicer intro to explain what what was going to be in this video. But yeah, we're going to go back approximately 3.5 minutes to see them hooking me up, and then we'll be back here in just a minute. Do you want to film you setting it up? Is that okay? If as long as I don't film your face, or you...
Not my face.
Absolutely not. It's a lot of wires. How fast does it spin?
Oh, now you're asking.
Fast.
Very fast.
Very fast, yeah.
Oh, looking good. Did but say I did science, so she needs another big one.
Just seems really unbelievably fiddly. The nurse was lovely. I can't remember her name. I'm terrible with names. I blame the MS for that. Bad memory. But yeah, she was really, really nice. And it's important that they're nice because they're going to be in that room with you for 6 hours. So yeah, hold in all your farts and be nice to each other. But she was very, very pleasant. She was a lovely lady.
ACD that we call it. So this is the stuff that causes the calcium. Yeah.
What do you call the lines?
Crossover there. So they call them return and access lines.
My wife was quite excited about the machines. She could talk about stuff. It's similar to the machine she uses in intensive care. They talked about lines and stuff. Meant nothing to me. But I suppose that's kind of how my wife feels when I ask her to film B-roll. I always thought bubbles in lines was bad. You know, oxygen in blood and that kind of thing. But nobody seemed bothered, and it's one of those questions where I knew if I asked, I'd come across as silly. So I kept quiet and assumed the bubbles weren't going to kill me. Good B-roll.
Sounds good with the air, yeah.
I don't look. Stop saying cheese. You have to film everything today. You're. I know. I'm terribly sorry. I know you do. I know. Oh, cool. That's pretty good.
I told you I'd make a mess. It's because you got good veins.
I do have good veins. It's one of the few things I think that my tiny noodle arms have going for them. So you probably can't see them at the moment, but the veins are quite prominent. They're quite strong. So I'm quite easy to cannulate generally, which is why I always worry when a doctor or nurse says that I'm difficult, because I assume that means they're terrible.
That's a good sign. We want you to bleed. We want a little mess.
That's very close. I'm just now thinking, shit, I've got to sit like this. Like, yeah, and that's only one arm. Like, for now, I can at least move this. What the hell am I going to do? Oh, I've got an itch. Oh no, could you, Ginny? No, could you please though? Because
Depends where the itch is.
Worry about your itch. Sharp scratch. Okay, my darling. Beautiful.
Excellent.
Fastest cannulation in the world.
It was speedy. It was very speedy and pretty painless. I was still very impressed. I don't mind cannulas, they're not that bad. To be honest, they sting less than like an injection or a blood test. You barely feel them going in, and that nurse in particular was especially good. I barely felt a single thing. And I heard my wife and her talking, and apparently the ones they use for this are quite large. They're 16 bore, which means they're quite big, and I still felt nothing. It doesn't mean I don't complain about them a lot when I'm in hospital in a later episode.
It's not, that's really boring.
Oh, look at that! I don't even know what I was trying to say there.
You could sell this to the BBC.
You're such a...
They love MS, don't they? Stem cell MS, they do.
You could sell
Miracle cure.
to the BBC.
Miracle cure for MS.
To get look, it was an empty tube and now it's becoming a full bloody tube. Well done. I hadn't realised until I watched this quite how
much of a moody bastard I came across as. I'm joking most of the time when I look miserable, but my wife says I come across much worse than I intend, and she's right, I really do.
Basically, I said yesterday fairly smugly that I hadn't had any bone pain, but on the drive home, that very much changed. I started getting like a really, like an old man sore back, and then throughout the day that progressed to mild whiplash, and like a sort of spasmic back pain that was pretty uncomfortable. And then throughout the night that developed to like hip pain and stuff. Basically, it was painful and unpleasant, but it's a good thing. That means it's ready for today. So I came in today, they did blood tests to check to see if I was ready. Neutrophils up to 0.8 rather than 0.3, and some other stuff that my wife's going to tell me now. White cell count's gone from 1 to 2.4, and CD34 count is 7 point something. I don't know what any of this means, but basically the nurse said, the hematology nurse said that ordinarily if they had those numbers in a cancer patient, sorry, I can't cover my mouth when I cough. If they had those numbers in a cancer patient, they would probably not be ready, but MS patients seem to mobilize differently, so even a low neutrophil count still had a high CD34 count, which means they could do it today. So, okay, the white cell count was low, but the CD34 count was good, so they were going ahead.
I heard this a number of times while I was in hospital. Apparently, MS patients seem to respond differently to cancer patients. I suppose that's because the thing they're having it for, the cancer of the blood, is actively trying to kill them, as opposed to MS, which has a very different disease progression. But the numbers I had on this particular harvest day were quite different to what they expected.
They want 4, they think they can probably get 4.5, all being well. So hopefully when I come back in tomorrow, which is good. Cannulas are fitted, you can see this.
Not fitted. Not like a shoe.
Cannulas are inserted, which my wife did, I'm sure, an excellent job of filming. Obviously I can't move now. I'm sat here like this for about 6 hours. So all the filming is going to be done by my wife, who's very excited about this task. I'm told to check out for calcium levels, like a tingly fingers and face and all that kind of stuff. But if I have to chomp on any of that, I will come back again.
I didn't come back. I actually had 3 calcium tablets during the course of the day and neglected to film at once, which was for 2 reasons. 1, this was near the start of the vlog and I was especially embarrassed filming stuff. And 2, my wife was actually operating the camera and I didn't want to keep asking her to do stuff.
For now, my wife has clearly had enough, so I will let her cut. Oh, she's coming in. Stuff in there. Do you see? If you tap the screen, it will focus closer. Yep. Okay, please cut.
So one of the unfortunate side effects of being in the chair or in the bed is that I can't feed myself or do anything for myself generally. So that includes eating, and that includes doing my wife has kindly gone and got me some food, if you show us the food, which consists of sweets and crisps.
They're not my choice, I was going to get you all food.
I chose the sweets and crisps. Yes, so if I show you what we had, this has to work. Thank you. It's not funny.
Didn't mean to do that, did I?
How did you used to be a healthcare? That was terrible. I was doing my wife's setting. She was quite annoyed at me. I'm pretty sure she crumbed me on purpose.
I managed to sleep for about an hour and a half, which was quite good. So we got through a lot of the time. The disadvantage of having a sleep is that now I need a wee. The nurse has kindly provided me this bottle. And thankfully, as my wife is here, this will be not dignified, but at least it's with my wife and not with the nurse, who probably wouldn't have been overly keen on the idea, and nor I. So, nor my wife. Nor my wife, indeed. Oh. Brilliant. Okay, so they've taken my pillows away, so I'm all like leady. But the nurse is waiting outside now, so I need to actually stop filming and have a wee. So, bye.
Now, the weeing. I didn't film this bit for obvious reasons, but I kind of wish I had. Not in a slightly strange way, but it was the first time I'd realised after I'd stood up after several hours quite how disgusting I actually was. Very sweaty, very clammy, very blah. And my wife found me a little repulsive, which is fair. But yeah, no, it was like trying to get undressed, which my wife had to do when I was sweaty and sticky and not nice. It was kind of funny. Also, my wife's genuine look of horror as I had to wee into the bottle, and she could feel the warmth in her hand through the cardboard casing. Scratching. Through that machine as you recall. The bag of stem cells is tiny. You sat in that chair or on that bed for so long, you kind of feel like it should be something a bit more substantial. But no, it's tiny, it's ridiculous, and it looks even more silly when they come to put them back in and they present you with this thing. It feels like a bit of an anticlimax. For some people, apparently, it's quite significant. But to be honest, when I saw that bag, it was like, is that it? Is really that it?
Stem cells.
Frame everything out except an arm. It's looking good. Thanks very much. So that's the stem cells. What does that mean? What's the number? What am I looking for? 4.5? 4? What do the numbers mean?
C34, 4 million.
C34, 4 million.
Yeah,
Do you have any way of knowing that based on just looking at the bag?
No.
No, I did not think so. It was worth asking though, just in case.
What eyes do you think she has?
I don't know. I thought maybe if you had more, it was darker.
I frequently embarrass Jeannie with these kinds of questions at all kinds of hospital appointments. In my head, they are perfectly reasonable, common sense questions, but she says they make me seem really dim.
Take her out and have in the lab to look.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm sure she's very experienced.
How does it have the cells? Yes, please, because I don't want to get this.
Pulling ever slowly. Sorry.
Babies.
Thanks, very nice. That's nice tapping for the video. That's good.
Action.
Yeah. I feel disgusting. I mean, I really need a shower.
Yes, you do.
I mean, I needed a shower before I came in. Two showers. Okay. Right, so I'm up now. This is good.
It's okay, it's not you.
That's good.
me.
I feel disgusting. How long was I laying down for? Just so I know how much
Well, we started
How long did I
at
stew in that?
10 past 11.
Okay.
Or 9 minutes past 11 to be exact. And we finished
3 minutes to 4.
Okay, so only 5 hours laying down. Yeah, but I feel awful. I need a shower very much, but it's nice to stand up. Okay, so just got the results back on my CD34, which we've been waiting for, and they were aiming for a result of 4 for me to have enough to leave. They expected they might get about 4.5 because the initial test this morning was 7.5, and apparently the number they got was 11.4, which they seem quite surprised about. I don't know what it means. I suppose that it said 11.4 million. Well, that sounds quite good. So not a lot of discernible talents, but clearly the production of stem cells is one of them. So yeah, so I now they're going to take my cannulas out. I'm all wiggly. They're going to take them out and then back in again in like a week and a half, 12 days I think, for 4 days of chemo. So yay! No, that's good though. I get to go home. Okay, I can't have my candies out until they check my potassium and calcium, but assuming that's fine, I get to go home, which is very good. So yeah, hopefully I won't have to do this again for much time. Well, a while. Anyway, I'm going now. Bye! And finished! That was it. Hopefully a little bit shorter than previous episodes, but who knows? I haven't finished this yet, so I don't know how much of my rambling is going to increase the runtime. Yeah, it not a bad day, really, all said. The not moving is a bit tricky, but not difficult really. It's just a bit boring, and I slept through a big chunk of it, which made the time pass quite quickly. In the end, and I don't know if I think I mentioned it here. Yeah, I got like 12 odd million stem cells. It was kind of funny, really. Everybody looked really surprised. Like all the nurses who are used to dealing with cancer patients kind of looked at me with like they were kind of impressed, like I'd done something to actually contribute to the number. It was quite nice. Don't even know what the next episode is going to be yet. I haven't watched the next lot of footage. It might be me going back into hospital. I have no idea. So I'll put it in the description. There'll be another one, and there'll be things in it, and I will see you next time, and thank you for watching, and like and subscribe, and do those things if you can, please. Thank you. Bye-bye.